We're going to put on a program up on the Jumbotron called Commencement Live. It's an opportunity for us to give you not just a little bit of entertainment as we get set for commencement at the top of the hour, but a chance for you to meet some of the graduates and hear some of their stories, and also to learn what goes into putting on commencement. I'm going to step out of the way because this is one half of our graduating class this morning. This is the Zelnak basketball practice facility, and all the red signs indicate engineering graduates. So about half of them line up in this facility, and then behind the camera are where the rest of your loved ones are lining up if they are in any major, or in any college I should say, except the College of Engineering. They will line up in the freshman gym, and then at about 10 minutes prior to the hour, they will all start to parade underneath McCamish Pavilion so they can pop out at 9 o'clock and we begin the big ceremony. So this is actually the third graduation ceremony of the weekend. Yesterday we had the doctoral candidates, or the doctoral students that is, in the morning, and the master's candidates, the master's students, in the afternoon. So over the next hour we're going to hear from a bunch of students, and you're actually going to hear from a couple of my comrades, and one of them right here is Stephen Norris. Stephen oversees the social media channels here at Georgia Tech. Stephen, in Commencement Live, what are the types of stories that people can expect to hear?
We're going to hear from all sects of our colleges, students across all types of majors. We're going to hear what they've worked on since they've been here, what they're proud of accomplishing during their time at Georgia Tech. It's just a time for us to celebrate all the students you're going to see walking across the stage a little bit later.
All right, we'll get to Stephen in a little bit. The third member of our team is actually with you. Bryce Zimmerman is in McCamish Pavilion. Bryce, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the people while y'all are up there with a lot of about 1,000 anxious students ready to get the confirmation of their degree from Georgia Tech. Their friends, family, and more graduates are starting to file in here at McCamish, getting ready to watch the show. Now, this stage currently is empty, but about an hour from now, we'll have presidential leadership, leadership administration, and faculty fill these seats. And this is a stage that wasn't here 2 days ago. Commencement planning begins 6 months in advance, and then it takes about 2 full days for the entire setup that you see here today before those people can look out onto a sea of arguably some of the brightest minds in the entire country. So a lot of work goes into building this commencement for you, not just from the students, but also from the faculty and the staff involved here at Georgia Tech. We're gearing up. We can't wait to hear for some of those amazing stories from this year's graduating class. Let's send it back up to Zelnak.
All right, Bryce, enough talking to a bunch of people who aren't smart enough to get into Georgia Tech. It's time to talk about students who are getting out. And our first one is Raksha Muthakumar, who's got the best name probably of the morning. Now, something that is very important here at Georgia Tech is providing opportunities for students to go overseas for international education. Raksha did that and came back a different person and a bigger leader here at Tech. All right, Raksha.
I spent my 3rd year in Switzerland. I took classes for a couple semesters at a university there, and then I traveled all summer. So I was backpacking, and I went from Istanbul to Barcelona, went to Belgrade. I ended up doing a lot more diversity work when I came back. So I worked with the LGBT Center, doing more with Pride Alliance and queer people of color on campus. I did computer science outreach and women in coding kind of stuff. We have a club, Women at College of Computing. And then I worked in an outreach lab where we taught like K through 12 students how to code and just like basics of computer science for their summer camps and stuff. So I guess I figured out what kind of impact I wanted to have and just targeted it more afterwards. You go through Georgia Tech and you're like, there's so much you struggle with, and there are classes you're like, I don't think I can get through this. And then you start doing internships and working, and you're like, wait, this is so in my control. Like it's 3 degrees less than my classwork at Georgia Tech has been. So even in my internship, I felt like that. I was like, I'm at Google, like, they must expect me to be like a genius, like this technical, like savant. But it wasn't like that. Compared to Georgia Tech, I was like, oh, this is like my work expectation. I can deliver that. And that made me so much more confident for full-time. Like, it felt like that could be in my range of working. I'm really excited to be in New York and working there, yeah.
And here is the rock star, Raksha. Raksha, talk to me a little bit about working with women and computing, girls in computing, and how does that set you up for success in your next job at Google?
Yeah, I really liked taking what I learned in the classroom and kind of applying it with younger students, because I really wish I had learned computer science when I was growing up, and because of that, I really wanted to do outreach after graduation. It turns out that Google does it kind of bigger than everybody else. So I really wanted to start working there, and I'm hoping that I can move sideways into an educational role after a couple of years there.
When did you think Google was a possibility, or when did Google become a goal?
I think it was after my year abroad, honestly. I think before that I was kind of like not as willing to take risks, but then after my year abroad I was like, sure, what do I have to lose? I'll do this interview process, I can move somewhere, it'll be fine. I can live in other places than Atlanta. Like, wanted to give it a shot.
Who's watching you graduate today, and would you like to say hello?
My parents are here, and my little brother, who's a champ because I'm gonna miss his high school graduation, but he's here today. And then I wanted to also shout out to my best friend, Kirby Jackson. So, yeah.
Raksha, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Google bounds. Raksha's on her way after getting out of Georgia Tech. All right, let me bring in Stephen Norris. He's lining up more students, more stories. Take it away.
All right, so our goal here is to introduce you to as many different students as we can, tell you a little bit about their stories. I'm going to pull in Sydney. She's going to come and talk to us right now. She's getting all situated, getting the cords and stoles ready to go. How you doing this morning?
I'm so good. How are you?
Doing well. So tell me what you studied during your time here.
I studied biology.
And a lot of hard work, a lot of late nights, I'm guessing.
A little bit. You know, I think it was all worth it, though. It was incredible, an incredible time.
And is this the earliest you've been up in a while?
Honestly, between packing and getting everything ready, we've had a couple late nights and early mornings, but, you know, all for graduation. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
When you're looking back at your time at Georgia Tech, is there one memory that stands out that is you're going to remember?
I mean, for me, it's an accumulation of so many of the relationships that you build, doing the little things, studying abroad, all those things that just form those small, close-knit relationships, and that's been the biggest thing for me. But
well, anybody over in McCamish bright and early this morning going to be cheering for you?
Yeah, I have my parents, mom and dad, aunt and uncle, brother and sister. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
All right.
It's bright and early.
Well, Sydney's got to go get in line, so we're going to let her go do that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sydney's going to get in line. We've got another sciences student. We're going to talk to Anne. Anne, another biology major.
Yes.
Tell me why you chose biology here at Tech.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in how medicine and culture interact together, and the program here at Georgia Tech gave me an opportunity to combine those two things. So
we're actually seeing a little bit of cool video, pictures that Anne sent to us. You said one of the memories that stood out to you was taking a trip to a place not many people have been to.
Yes, I actually got to travel to Antarctica with my partner Nick Selby with the Stamps President Scholars Program here.
And cool, she was studying penguin dialects. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how penguins evolved over time by the differences in penguin dialects in different areas. So that was really cool. Yeah.
What will you be doing with your degree after you leave Tech?
Yeah, so next year I'll be doing a Fulbright Fellowship in India where I'll be studying environmental health of the air and water there, and then I'm planning on doing an MD PhD to study environmental health as well. So.
And you have family in from Columbus, Georgia this morning,
right.
Correct?
Yes, my mom and dad, Belinda and John Johnson here, as well as my sister, Ellie Johnson, and my partner, Nick Selby. Hey, guys.
Saying hi to all those folks there.
Yeah.
Now, Anne's got to go get in line as well. Actually, our sciences students, they're lining up in another gym. We've got so many students graduating this morning, so Anne's got to run over there. Congratulations. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. Jason has a couple of students who look a lot alike.
They sure do. So we have twin sisters who are graduating, obviously, together, VME. This is Allison, this is Amy, the Youngsman twins, and they're from Augusta. Talk to me a little bit about what this was like going through Georgia Tech together, Allison.
Sure. Actually, we're both the same major, so biomedical engineering, and it's actually been great just to have that constant support throughout these past 4 years. It's been really nice.
And make it easier, perhaps, having your sister here at all times? Or I'm not going to say that it was difficult, obviously, but it must have been much easier having her here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got a little bit of healthy competition in there, but she's been my biggest support system, so super grateful for that. Yeah.
Now, do you all move on together into industry with jobs together, or are you finally splitting up?
I think we're finally splitting up, but we're sort of hoping to stay in the same city, so we'll see where that goes. Yeah.
And who's out there watching you today?
My mom, my dad, my grandma, and a whole bunch of other people. Hi, everyone.
All right, the Youngsman students, Congratulations to y'all, and thanks for joining us. They weren't supposed to we just like pulled them out of line and put them on camera, so you all are naturals. Thanks so much. So that's Allison, that's Amy Youngsman. They are engineering graduates. And speaking of engineering, there's a brand new dean in the College of Engineering, and Bryce Zimmerman, who's in McCamish, is standing with the dean right now.
Thank you very much, Jason. I'm here with Dean Steve McLaughlin, who is just now completing his first full 2 semesters in charge of the College of Engineering. But you've been a part of this community for a very long time. How has the commencement experience changed for you, coming from ECE now over as the Dean of Engineering?
Well, like you said, I've been here 22 years and probably been to 30 graduations since then. But now it's, I would say, a lot more exciting. I'm going to get to shake a couple thousand hands today. Not only say congratulations, but also thank you. Thank you for everything that the students have done to make Georgia Tech a better place. So a lot of shaking hands today.
Yeah, 2 ceremonies of shaking hands, and there's so many engineers that come through here at Georgia Tech. What have been some of your impressions of the first graduating class since you've been the dean?
Well, I mean, now I would say our students are much more focused on global impact. How can they change the world? What are the things that they're doing? You know, they're studying abroad, they're doing projects abroad. Those kinds of experiences of our students are really, we see those changing. Our students really want to have global impact.
All right, Dean McLaughlin, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck shaking those hands.
Okay, thank you very much.
So that's Dean McLaughlin. We're going to now see a package about a couple of those innovative engineers, an AE and a mechanical engineering major that souped up a Barbie Jeep. Take a look.
From Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of an engineer. Like all the jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. Oh, if I had a daughter, sir, I'd dress her in white and gold and put her on the campus to cheer the brave and bold. But if I had a son, sir, I'd tell you what he'd do. He would yell to hell with Georgia like his daddy used to do. Oh, I wish I had a barrel of rum and sugar 3,000 pounds, a college bell to put it in and a clapper to stir it round. I drink to all the good fellows who come from far and near. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer.
And I've got these 2 talented singers here with me now. We've got Marguerite and Josh. Marguerite, you are actually the music director of one of our a cappella groups. Folks might be surprised the level of musical talent we have on campus.
Yeah, they should be surprised, honestly. We're not just a school full of nerds. We have a lot of extracurriculars that go really beyond the scope of what the school has to offer. And I'm no longer music director anymore. I guess I can say former as of now, which is a little sad.
And Josh, tell me about the group that you sang with.
So the Georgia Tech Men's Glee Club is actually the oldest student organization on campus. We were actually founded 2 years before the Yellow Jacket Marching Band. So we take any and all guys that are interested in sing. No experience needed, no auditions. It's awesome.
So the folks out in McCamish will actually see you performing again.
Yeah. So we're actually going to be doing the national anthem, Ramblin' Wreck, and the alma mater during the ceremony today.
Marguerite, how did music and singing add to your time at Tech?
It's been a great outlet. I feel coming to Georgia Tech, you can get bogged down a lot with the academia of it, which is great in some sense, keeps you focused, and everybody has a passion and drive for that stuff, but it's really nice to have something external. And it's given me some of the best friends that I've ever had, so they're like sisters to me.
And Josh, you got to travel and experience a lot of different things through Glee Club.
So my freshman year, I actually got to defer all of my finals. I got to move all of my finals because I traveled to Washington, D.C. with the Glee Club because we sang for actually the previous president's, G. Wayne Clough's retirement party for when he was the secretary of the Smithsonian. So we flew out to D.C., we surprised him, and I got to spend the entire finals week of my first semester at Tech just goofing around.
Yeah, don't get any ideas because we do not cancel finals like that often. That is an extremely rare occurrence. Anybody you want to give a shout out to over in McCamish?
Yeah, shout out to my family, Mom, Dad, Jim, Sam, Shannon, and shout out to Monty, Shannon's dog.
Well, now, Marguerite's in another gym, so she's got to scurry over that way. All right. And how about you, Josh? Anybody you want to say hello to?
I just want to say thank you to my mom, dad, my stepmom, Sarah, my wonderful brother, Patrick, and my amazing girlfriend, Jackie.
All right. These guys got to go get in line. It's almost time to graduate. Congratulations. All right. We're moving on from two students with musical talent to another student with some incredible musical talent. And while Juan was here at Georgia Tech, he actually became famous on a different continent. Take a look.
I grew up with a Georgia Tech picture hanging above my crib. My dad came here. He graduated in '94. Coming to a place that my dad has always been telling me about and seeing in person was really nice. It's a beautiful place. I chose industrial design because I've always had a passion for art and technology. And industrial design is the perfect mix in between the two. My band is called Tres Dedos, which translates to 3 fingers. Nobody knows who came up with that name. Don't ask. We don't know. We've been playing music for 5 years. It's actually only 2 of us. We play alternative Latin pop. Actually, my bandmate is in Ecuador. I'm here. So we're recording and writing music online, just sending tracks back and forth. We released our first single. He wrote some lyrics, he sent them to me. I wrote the instruments. We actually released the song while I was here, and it started being played a lot in radios. Yeah, so we were nominated to Best New Artist in the Premios Rojos de Ecuador, which translates to Red Awards, which could be translated to the Grammy Awards of Ecuador. It's definitely an amazing experience to have people in a different country sing back the lyrics to you that you wrote in your room, just being creative. I came to Tech because I knew this was a place that is based a lot of innovation. So as an artist, I want to innovate too. So I'm driven by innovation. I want to create art that hasn't been seen before, art that's functional, art that people can look at or hear and say, okay, this is something new, I've never heard this is going to break through.
We have one half of Tres Dedos, Juan Piano with us. Juan, what's going to be your next step? You're going to try to see if this music career can launch.
Yeah, of course. We're going to definitely make it happen. That's my goal right after graduation.
And you have some family members over in McCamish who travel quite a long way to be up here today.
Yes, of course. So I want to say hi to my parents, my siblings, my grandparents, and my girlfriend.
After you've made it big, are you going to remember all of us here at Georgia Tech?
Always, even you.
All right.
Yeah.
So Juan, he got his degree in industrial design, and you mentioned that has sort of played into your creative flow, if you will.
Of course. So industrial design teaches you how to apply a creative process to any sort of process. So I believe you can even apply that to music to make innovation in the music industry.
You'll want to remember this guy's name after he's a world-famous star. All right, Juan, he's got to go get in line. Congratulations. All right, we're going to keep moving on. We're going to talk to some more graduates. Jason, you got a couple, actually a student athlete here you want to talk to.
Yeah, so here at Georgia Tech, we don't take student athlete as a soft term. We mean it. And so Andres Liddick runs 800 meters, right, on the track team?
Yeah, mainly, yeah.
And computer science degree holder at the end of the day. Tell me what it's like balancing athletics and academics here at Georgia Tech.
It can be really difficult. Obviously, as a student athlete, your attempt is to prioritize both. That's why they call you that. And I definitely fumbled one way or another as I was starting out. Had to repeat at least one class and definitely stayed up way too late one night or two, but that's just how it goes.
So in other words, you sound like just about every other Georgia Tech student.
Yeah, really not too much of a difference. Yeah, we just do a lot of running in circles aside from that.
Speaking of running, now that your career is nearing an end, you're going to go to ACCs, hopefully NCAAs. How do you work running into your regular life after you're done with competitive collegiate athletics?
It'll be interesting for sure. I definitely think that the body of running that a collegiate athlete does is a bit extreme. I put more miles on my body than my car just about every year. So I'm going to back it off a little bit for sure for the sake of my knees. Maybe explore some other opportunities to get physically fit, but I'll definitely still run probably for the rest of my life.
Next up is the Home Depot. You'll change gold and white for orange?
Yeah, yep, that's the plan. I should start there in June working in software development.
Fantastic. Say hello to somebody for us.
Hey, I just want to shout out to my family and Mark, who I believe are here watching. Thanks for coming, guys.
Do you know Noah?
I do, yeah.
All right, so another student athlete, Noah Haraz. Is that how I say it? Haraz?
Yeah, Haraz.
All right, another computer science major. But you are a swimmer, right?
Yeah. So I swam for all 4 years. I was a sprint freestyler, did the 50, 100, and 200.
I asked him, but how is balancing athletics and academics?
I mean, it's definitely it's really difficult, to say the least. Through all the trials I've been through, it's definitely helped me become a better person and kind of like realize how to set up my life and get into a groove and kind of like conquer all the difficulties set before me.
This is a dangerous question when you're on live TV because you don't know the answer to it, but you know your postgraduate plans yet?
Yeah, actually, so I'm going to be doing, I took a software engineering job at a local company called Fivebox. It's a software engineering consultancy. It's actually right down Marietta Street, so it's pretty close. I'll be in the area. I get to stay and hang out with my friends, and I'm probably going to come back for master's school eventually and probably get into the research field.
Fantastic. Anybody here watching you today? I assume so?
Yeah, so my mom and dad and stepmom, and to be stepdad, and my sister and my brother-in-law are all here, so I want to say hi and thank you for coming.
Yeah. Noah Haraz, computer science. Congratulations. One of 81 graduates that is a student athlete in these undergraduate ceremonies all day today. All right, let's just keep the train rolling here. Yash Chandramoli, right? Yeah, did I get it right? Yeah. Earlier I had Raksha Muthakumar, and I got the names today. So tell us a little bit about your journey here. And when I say journey, one thing that I think is impressive is that you give tours here at Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, so I'm a campus tour guide and I'm a tour guide through the Georgia Tech Ambassadors. And that's one of those things I wanted to do when I came to campus. Tours are really important in helping me understand what campus was like and making me want to come here. And so I kind of wanted to give that experience to new students as well.
You're an aerospace engineer graduate. We talked to a student athlete who said, I had to take some classes over again. You actually failed your first AE class here.
Oh, I didn't fail my first AE class.
Test?
My first test, yeah. So my first real AE class was structural analysis. And
what is structural analysis?
Yes.
Don't even know what that is, but go ahead.
I don't even know what it is, and I finished
Obviously, you failed the test.
I got an A in the class, but I failed the first test, and it was kind of a wake-up call to that this is a hard school, and there's a lot of hard things here. But there's a big community within the class. So there's like a class group, me, and a lot of students that you can turn to get help. So that really allowed me to succeed. And I think that's kind of been my experience at Tech overall.
Yash actually is building a spacecraft, or has been building a spacecraft, that will eventually go into orbit. Tell us briefly what that's about.
Yeah, so I've worked on 2 of the CubeSat projects here. So these are about like shoebox-sized satellites that are going to be launched. There's 5 or 6 launching from Georgia Tech in the next couple years. So I worked this past year on the Micronimbus CubeSat, which is a radiometer that's going to go look at temperatures in the atmosphere. And it's been an awesome experience. I've been able to get real-world experience, actually work on hardware that's going to go into space. Just like the coolest thing.
And you'll go to Stanford for grad school?
Yes, I'm going to Stanford to pursue my master's in aerospace.
All right, well, you've got the right colors for that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The only time it's okay to wear red here at Georgia
Exactly.
Tech. All right, Yash, say hello to somebody for us.
All right. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dai. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me.
Yash Chandramoli. Congratulations, an AE graduate. All right, before we go to our next student, I want to give you a sense of what we have here. This is the Zelnak Center, the basketball practice facility. What you see here are all the engineering graduates for this morning ceremony lining up. There's actually a second gym right behind us, freshman gym, where all the other majors who will walk in at 9 o'clock are lining up. And graduation begins at 9 o'clock. We're looking at about a 2.5-hour ceremony, and actually the first of 2 ceremonies we're going to do because there's another undergraduate ceremony later today. All right, so you got lucky. graduation was on a Saturday morning. Now, you weren't lucky with the time, at 9 a.m., you had to get up early, but at least you didn't have to fight Atlanta traffic. The next guy we're going to talk to personally cannot graduate fast enough, in my opinion, because he thinks he has some solutions about how to make this city flow a little better.
There was a process that led to me picking Georgia Tech. Around 8th, 9th grade was when I really got interested in civil engineering. I grew up enjoying building things, playing with Legos. I also say part of the inspiration on why I want to stay here after I graduate and work around the city is I want to help make Atlanta's transportation situation better. I think there is so much we could do to improve the city because we are a city of commuters. So there is so much we could do to help, and I want to be a part of that change that will happen in Atlanta over the next few decades.
So you're born in Texas, where traffic is a nightmare in places like Houston and Dallas, and you're from Swanee, so you know firsthand. So this thing is solvable, perhaps, traffic in Atlanta?
Not completely.
All right, great news.
Yeah, it's very blunt, but what we learn as we study the situation in Georgia and around the country is the way we've built up our cities to be auto-dominated throughout the years has made it really an almost insolvable issue. But there are things we can do to mitigate the situation and improve things. Right now we're about to start reconstructing the Georgia 400 I-285 interchange, the passage of House Bill 930 2 weeks ago, which will fund some more money into MARTA and get the ATL transit program kick-started. It's going to be a big help in the next decade. There are things we can do to improve the situation in Atlanta, and I hope to be a part of that as I begin my career.
Yeah, what's next for you? What do you do now?
I'm going to be working with Pond & Company, which is a consulting firm up in Peachtree Corners, Georgia, and I'll be starting out in roadway design.
Okay. All right, who's in McCamish watching you, and feel free to say hello.
Yep. Hi, Mom and Dad. Hi, Rebecca, Drew, and Daniel. And shout out to my brother David, who's not here because he's working the Kentucky Derby today, actually.
No way, come on.
Yeah.
What's his role?
I think he's just mostly facilities support, but still, to be there is awesome.
Yeah, it is. The first Saturday in May. All right, congratulations. Big day for you. It's not just about horses today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's Sam Denard, civil engineering, is that right?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. I hate making mistakes on live TV. All right, we're going to go over to Bryce Zimmerman, who is going to talk a little bit about these gowns. And here's a tip. If you go to the concession stand and you get a bottle of water, don't throw it away. Bryce, tell us why.
All right, thank you very much, Jason. You know, here at Georgia Tech, we are bold in gold, but we're also environmentally conscious and very green. And that's what these gowns are. Jason mentioned water bottles. So these are Oak Hill Cap and Gown. All right, that's the company. And this current brand is Greenweaver. Now, what does that mean? What is Greenweaver? All of the gowns that you will see here today, walking up and down the aisles, they are all 100% made from recycled plastic water bottles. That's right, every single gown is completely green and recycled. Not only is that fantastic, it takes about 23 water bottles to make one of these beautiful looking gowns. Okay, so we have 2,000 plus graduates. Do the math. I'm not great at it, but a lot of people at Georgia Tech are. That's 46,000 water bottles that otherwise would have been in landfills are now being repurposed and helping people enjoy commencement ceremonies. That is so cool. And take a look at these gowns, right? So you've got dual seal from Georgia Tech, very green, very comfortable, very flowy. I like the way it feels. Fantastic. Here at Georgia Tech, we can continue that environmentally conscious effort. Let's send it back up to Stephen in Zelnak. He doesn't have to wear a gown like me.
We are back here in Zelnak. We're going to take another look at students while they're lining up. We're standing here by the biomedical engineering majors. We've got materials science and engineering. We've got industrial engineering program. And this is where our students are lining up, getting organized before they march in for commencement. So we're going to continue as we are counting down to graduation to introduce you to a couple more students. This is actually one of my personal favorite stories this year. We've got a young lady who is graduating from Georgia Tech's top-ranked industrial engineering program, and she just also happens to be a collegiate champion powerlifter. Let's meet Arthi.
I typically get, how much do you lift, how often do you work out, some people like to tell me what they do and see if, that's a good workout for them.
Collegiate American record attempt for Arthi. She's already going to be your national champion.
I'm currently a powerlifter. For people who aren't familiar, the sport basically compromises of 3 main lifts: squat, bench, and deadlift. And the point of it is to lift your max amount. So I actually got into it when I first came to Georgia Tech. We have a club here called the Georgia Tech Barbell Club. I actually found the club through jacket pages. And when I joined, I actually got a mentor, and he saw potential in me and convinced me to join the sport. I competed in the United States Powerlifting Collegiate National Competition. I ended up squatting 353 pounds, which was an American junior record. And then I benched 198 pounds and deadlifted, I think it was 385, yeah. Once I finally decided to do industrial engineering, I saw that it was #1 here at GT, so I knew I should just come down here. Didn't visit the school prior to committing, but once I came here, I fell in love. It's been really crazy. Definitely not the standard 4 years at Tech, you could say, but I think everyone finds their path here at Georgia Tech, so even if they don't get into something like me, I think people have their own experience. In my senior year, I got so many opportunities to interact with professors and other students within the department that I'm really seeing, the level of research. And I think when you say that you have a degree from Georgia Tech, that in itself, lets people know, who you are and the background you have. It's definitely bittersweet, leaving all the people that I love too, but also I'm excited to see what the next chapter in my life has.
No, I'm not intimidated here, but you could probably bench press me, can't you?
Possibly.
That's a little scary. So tell me how powerlifting has sort of added to your time here at Tech and how it's sort of improved your journey here.
So for me personally, it's definitely developed myself, not only physically, but mentally, given me so much confidence. And as you can probably tell, there's not many of us here, especially female and Indian athletes in the sport in itself. So it does make me stand out. And I think that, and through my involvement in the Georgia Tech Barbell Club, has set me apart on campus and given me so many opportunities, such as this, interviewing with you guys.
And what are you going to be doing? You're going to continue powerlifting, I guess. What are you going to be doing with your degree?
I'm still searching for a full-time job right now, but hopefully down the line, going to grad school, getting an MBA.
And if anybody's out there in McCamish, this is the person you want to hire. Industrial engineering, graduating from the top-ranked industrial engineering program. You feeling proud this morning?
Definitely. It's an awesome feeling. Here with Buzz.
And she's getting ambushed by Buzz right now. All right, this mic, it's a hot mic, real hot mic. Okay, Arthi, anybody you want to say hello to over in McCamish?
To my family, everyone's sitting out there, so just want to say hello.
All right, Arthi's got to go get in line with her classmates in industrial engineering. We're going to let her step in. Congratulations, Arthi. All right, we've got Dr. Peterson here in the background who is giving one last pep talk to these graduates. And then actually you'll see standing beside him, we've got Jan Davis, Georgia Tech's first female astronaut who will be giving this morning's address to our graduates. She's a Georgia Tech graduate herself, so what better words of wisdom? We're actually going to have her step over. Good morning, Dr. Davis.
Hi, how are you?
So, does it feel good to be back on campus?
Oh, it feels fantastic. I had a great tour yesterday, and it just has improved in so many ways. It's a beautiful campus.
How has Tech changed since your time here?
Well, it's a lot bigger now. I'm going to say this in my remarks, but there are more women students than there were total students when I was here. There were about 8,000 students when I was here. But the campus itself is just so much more, there's so much more art and green space, and it's just a much more beautiful campus.
And you mentioned more women on campus. We actually have 3 women giving our commencement speeches this year at Georgia Tech, something we're very proud of. What is your words of encouragement for women who want to enter STEM fields, science and engineering?
Well, that's one of my passions, is to try to encourage more women to go into those fields, because there are so many different things that you can do with a STEM career. And some women think they want to help people, so they want to do a different field, but you can help people with engineering and science and medicine. And so it's just educating women about going into STEM fields. And I think with their sort of natural people skills, it's a great field for women. So that's what I spend my spare time doing, is trying to encourage more young girls, young women to go into STEM fields.
And Dr. Davis definitely blazed that trail for us. We're excited to hear from you.
Ask her the obvious question. What's it like to be in space? You went there 3 times. You spent 28 days in space, right?
28 days in space, right.
What is that like?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's a lot of hard work to get there, and then we have work to do up there. We can't just look out the window all the time, but the Earth is gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's just unbelievable to see it from space. And weightlessness is really fun. You know, I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems, I didn't get sick, so I loved it up there.
She went 3 times, 92, 94, and 97. She flew on the space shuttle, folks, Dr. Jan Davis. Welcome home.
Thank you.
And thank you. We'll listen to you later on today.
Okay, all right, thanks.
All right, we will continue on with the engineering side of Georgia Tech. EJ Okafor, come on over here. So industrial engineering, you actually had a grandfather, a Nigerian grandfather who was an engineer, and that kind of prompted you to do this?
Yes, so my grandfather was a civil engineer and he worked in Nigeria, West Africa for over 40 years.
Your sister went here, is that right?
No, my sister did not go.
I'm mixing somebody else with somebody else. What is next for you?
So next I'll be moving to Dallas and I'll be working for Accenture.
And did you apply to a lot of schools, and was it obvious at some point that Georgia Tech was going to be your home?
Yes, definitely. So I came here for a college visit when I was in high school, and I loved it. The weather was beautiful, had a great tour, and I fell in love with the school. So.
All right. You got to go line up, so get out of here. EJ Okafor, Nigerian, and now a graduate from Georgia Tech. Now, this is the interview I was looking forward to doing the most. Paul, come on up here. This is Paul Davis. Paul, industrial engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing this afternoon?
I'm also graduating with a finance degree, and I'm walking twice against every person that I've talked to's best wishes.
All right, so let's again say this. You're walking this morning, and you're walking
in the afternoon.
Why didn't you just blow off one of these?
I got a big family. I've got 4 younger siblings, and I got to make sure that everyone can make it here. So I got double the tickets, and I've got the whole family coming.
That's true, because we do restrict the amount of tickets.
They do. So, you know, if I walked twice, that was the only way that I could guarantee that I'd get enough tickets to make sure that all my sweet parents and family members would be able to come today.
Is anyone coming twice?
Actually, no one is. I'm the only person in my entire family that's going to walk twice today and actually be here for both of the whole situations.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you this afternoon.
Great. Thank you. See you again soon.
Paul Davis is graduating twice, a double major. I think his parents are most proud because he's now off the books. All right, so they're starting to hoot and holler.
I have to say, I didn't ask an astronaut about being in space. I kind of dropped the ball, didn't I? And I need to talk into this microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Those, any words of wisdom for the students? I think that means to hell with Georgia.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so what happens next?
So everybody's lined up and organized. They're going to be following each other, lined up out, headed into the gallows underneath McCamish, and we've got the countdown on. It's almost time.
Yeah, what time is it? All right. So we got about 20 minutes. We're going to link up and go in there and talk to Bryce Zimmerman a little bit more. Also going to run down where your students will sit out on those seats. Again, this is about a 2.5-hour ceremony. This is the 3rd of 4 ceremonies this weekend, and I think the total number of degrees that are conferred is about 3,400. It doesn't mean that 3,400 people actually walk across the stage, just means that's how many people are eligible and will get their degrees. So, Bryce, why don't you take it away? We will join you in the flesh in just a little bit.
Thank you, guys. Make your way on down here as we get ready for commencement, the 255th commencement in Georgia Tech history, and it all kicked off a couple of days ago. In fact, on Friday, just yesterday morning at 11 a.m., we had the President's graduation ceremony. We're going to show you a couple of the images from that ceremony, and what that was is an opportunity for all the graduates to get together, photo ops, enjoying friends, family, beautiful sunshine. It was like 83 degrees yesterday, absolutely gorgeous, free ice cream, lots of food. The colleges were out there promoting their wares, had a DJ spinning the records. It was a great time, and what that did was get things absolutely moving really quickly on commencement weekend. Yesterday we had the master's ceremony. Today we have 2 undergraduate ceremonies, the first one you're at, of course, and then one a little bit later on at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And you know, Georgia Tech, 255 commencement ceremonies, that means that this institute is 130 years old. There are tons of traditions here at Georgia Tech. You may have noticed a couple of missing consonants around campus. Freshmen, first-year students, do not touch the Ramblin' Wreck. That's bad news when we play the University of Georgia. And of course, rat caps. But that doesn't mean that there's not an opportunity for new traditions. Last year, the Student Alumni Association, they implemented a brand new tradition called the Ramblin' Wreck Ring Ride. In concert with Balfour, every class ring purchased by a Georgia Tech graduating student got a ride in the Ramblin' Wreck. So let's hop on and ride with the Wreck on a springtime jaunt around Georgia Tech's campus. Talking to Buzzy's mic. Yeah, you want to do Bachelor's AM with the question. Correct. Yep, correct. Yep, that's it.
Thanks to my mom and dad and my family for supporting me throughout my time at Tech, and all my friends for keeping me up whenever classes got me down and making sure I had a lot of fun here.
So the thing I'm definitely going to miss most about Georgia Tech, especially being such a small major, is walking into a classroom and getting to see some of your best friends just because you have class with them and you've grown a lot through college with them. So I'm definitely going to miss all of them, but I'm glad we're all graduating today. So congrats, class of 2018.
Well, it's finally over. It's been certainly a very interesting journey, obviously making a very big adjustment from my hometown back in New Jersey, coming all the way down south. A lot of work has been put in, a lot of sweat, sometimes tears, but always rejoicing in the end, especially since we've reached this point. I'm very excited to be graduating. I've enjoyed every moment of it, with all the excitements, all the downsides, all the thrills. I don't regret a second of it. Of course, there are so many people to thank.
Okay, what we're going to do?
My friends, everyone who's encouraged me near and far, virtually or in person. Practically, I pretty much have nothing else to say. Just feeling awesome and excited for this upcoming ceremony.
I'd like to thank my parents, my brother, Salam. Go Jackets. I hope you guys are having a good time. Thanks for everyone who came out to my graduation. Thanks.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I finally got out. Thank you for everything. It would have been impossible without your help. Thanks so much.
I want to thank my family for their support, my parents, my siblings, Lauren, Caroline, and Thomas for always being there, and my extended family for being in town. Go Jackets!
It's been a great 4 years at Georgia Tech. Thank you to the STEM scholarship program and to the biology department. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
I think my favorite memory, in school was, the first week when I got here. I think everything was so new and meeting so many different people, different cultures, and getting to understand a lot. I think that was pretty much my favorite memory. A big thank you to my family and family friends and everybody who taught me and everybody I've worked with. I think it's been a great experience for the last few years, and I've really enjoyed my time here. And yeah, go Jackets!
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for letting me come to this country and doing aerospace. Thanks, Aerospace Department, for letting me sit in a wind tunnel. Yeah, go Jackets.
I love hearing what the students are going to say at that segment. I absolutely love that. But you know what I like more here at Georgia Tech is what the students are doing. And some of the things that they're doing in cybersecurity are really revolutionary. It's time for everybody to meet the Honeybot. Georgia Tech students always doing amazing things. Steven, you made it down here.
We're here.
You made it all the way down here.
We're here. Now, Bryce, you're part of the social media team. How can folks follow along on social media today?
So we are streaming live right now on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Georgia Tech. You can also follow us on Instagram, both stories and on our post. That's Georgia Tech, all lowercase. And our Snapchat, that is Snap Georgia Tech, as well as Twitter, which is @Georgia Tech. So very easy to find if you want to be involved with our social media. Our official hashtags are GT18, hashtag GT18, and of course, hashtag #IGotOut.
Yes. Okay, so we talked about robots. We saw one. Let's check out another robot that does some pretty cool action. Before we explain the layout here in McCamish, we'll check back in with you in a minute.
We've done a lot of stuff where Shimon is interacting with people and improvising over predetermined chord progressions. But here, Shimon is generating everything by itself.
So let's come out.
There's no human influence other than we give it a seed at the very beginning, and then we say, Shimon, generate the rest of the composition from here. And then Shimon takes it away and completes the piece. We've trained the neural network with a database that consists of a wide variety of music, encompassing everything from jazz, classical, to pop music. What it's generating is almost like a fusion of these different styles. What you're hearing is the result of what it's learned about music in general. And so because it's learned all of these concepts that sort of cross over between genres, the output is a mixture of all of these different things.
And we are back. Commencement Live continues. We are about 15 minutes away. Now, one of the questions that we get the most here at Georgia Tech is where will my students sit when they come out of those tunnels? Now, I can't tell you exactly where or what row, but I can kind of give you an idea of where your student might be. So Leland's our camera guy, and I'm going to start walking. You can look at me on the board, or you can just look at me down here. The way that we do this is not every major is represented in this undergraduate ceremony. Again, there's going to be one later on today. But the ones that are represented here are the College of Computing, also the College of Design, the College of Sciences, and of course, the College of Engineering. So when they come out of these tunnels and down to this floor, if they are in the College of Computing, they will start sitting here. And then after that, at some point, the College of Design will spill in behind them. And then after that, toward the back, College of Sciences. And then there are going to be a lot of people dressed a lot alike. In the back and all up and down this side will be the College of Engineering. And then here's a tip. If you don't see your student within their own college, it's because they'll be sitting in the back. The reason they're sitting in the back is because we told them to get here by 7:45 or 8 o'clock. Some students still aren't here. Perhaps they slept in. If you arrive late, you don't sit in the College of Engineering, you don't sit in the College of Computing or Design or Sciences, you sit in the back. You sit next to somebody else with a different major, you don't sit in alphabetical order. So your kids might not tell you that, but if they're in the back, it's because they didn't get their butts out of bed this morning on time. Stephen, what else do we have lined up for the folks to know what to do?
Well, we're here on time, and that's what's important, right? Okay, so what I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea is kind of the flow of how things will go, so you know the direction that everybody will be walking in. So students will line up to actually cross the stage on this side over here. They're going to line up this way, and then they're going to come over here, and something really cool that happens, each of the graduates has a card with their name on it. And what they've done is they've called in prior to the ceremony, and they have recorded how their name is correctly pronounced. We had a professional linguist who actually reads every name to make sure their name is pronounced correctly. They're going to hand a card right here, and there's a barcode on it that actually gets scanned, and the name will be pronounced as the card is scanned. So high tech, that's how we do it here at Georgia Tech. We want to make sure every student has their moment and their name is announced. That's very important to us. And we're one of the only colleges that continues that tradition. They're going to cross the stage this way. They'll shake the hand of their dean here, and then they'll shake the president's hand right here, and they're going to cross over here and have a picture taken at this step and repeat right here, like I'm about to have my picture taken right here. Hi. All right. That's going on my Instagram. Okay, so we're getting a little bit closer, just a couple minutes until all of the graduates stream in and start filling these seats. One of my favorite moments is actually going to be at the end. If you look up, these balloons will be coming down in just a little bit. That's a great photo op you'll want to be ready for.
All right, let's bring in Serena Wallace. Serena actually is the person that the students contact when they need to graduate, when they need tickets. Serena, this is the third of 4 ceremonies. 2 undergraduates. I know you're not sleeping. What do the folks need to know about when we're done in about 2.5 hours?
So when we're done, all of our students are going to be exiting out through the tunnels. So you're going to meet them out on West Entrance, which is right over there. We're going to have guests exit through all of our entrances. And if you need a shuttle, it's going to be at the Benatar entrance over by section 107. So just remember to wave to your grad and then meet them outside.
All right, any other words of wisdom for folks to get through the next 2.5 hours?
I hope you charged your cell phones.
Very good. All right, Serena Wallace is one of 3 ladies who actually put on commencement here at Georgia Tech. All right, Leland, I'm going to take a look at the clock here. We've got about 2 minutes to go before we run a video and we get into commencement. Let me bring in Stephen one more time. I know that you talked about social media, how to stay in touch. But again, how can people interact with Georgia Tech?
So we'll be live tweeting and sharing stories throughout the day, primarily on Instagram and Twitter. You want to find us there. Our handle is Georgia Tech. We're easy to find. We're actually currently live streaming right now on Facebook, so hello to anybody who's watching there. We've got folks watching from all over the world. If you can't be here with us, you can definitely watch there. We want to see pictures of you and your family. We want to see pictures of your graduate, and we'll definitely be sharing.
All right, so 3,400 degrees will be conferred this weekend. Doctorals were in the morning yesterday, master's was in the afternoon, undergraduate this morning, undergraduate in the evening. With 1 minute to go, let me again focus. College of Computing, College of Design, College of Sciences, and the College of Engineering, again, will be a huge section. And then, of course, in the back, if you don't know what's up, you do now. So that's it. We're getting set to roll this out. 255 graduation ceremonies for Georgia Tech. We are the most diverse engineering university in the entire nation, and it's what we do. We have a tagline here at Georgia Tech. It's creating the next. We have another tagline here at Georgia Tech. I got out. Congratulations to everyone, not just the students. We're all ready. It's time for commencement. You did it. They did it. Take it away.